I'm with Ms. Mahima and this is a press meet for the International Kindness Festival. Kindness na karunai anbu rendo onna சேர்த்து அப்படினு சொல்லலாம். And இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி வந்து நிகழ்ச்சின்னு சொல்லலாமா? நிகழ்ச்சி தான். It's a celebration of kindness இல்லைங்களா? 2 நாள் March 24th Feb 24th and 25th
next weekend.
அடுத்த weekend லேடி ஆண்டா ஸ்கூல் ஆடிட்டோரியம்ல நடக்க போகுது. ஸோ நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில் நாங்கள் எல்லாரும் we've all experienced kindness and unkindness. அதெல்லாம் தாண்டி how do we choose to be? அதுதான் முக்கியம். And இங்கிலீஷில் சொல்லுவாங்க in a world where you can be anything, be kind. So I think இந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவலோட primary focus வந்து is talking about practical ways of being kind in today's world, technology and business oriented ways of being kind. அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப relevant நாங்கள் இருக்கிற சொசைட்டியில். And also I assume there will be some youth speakers because the new generation of children அவங்களுடைய awareness actually ரொம்ப பயங்கரமாக இருக்குது. They are so aware of environmental issues, social issues, and அவங்களுக்கு இருக்கிற clarity நமக்கு வந்து 30 வயசில் வர clarity அவங்களுக்கு 13 வயசுலேயே வருது. So it's great and I think maybe going forward the world will be in safer hands. So கண்டிப்பாக எல்லாரும் வந்து இந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவலில் கலந்துக்கிட்டா நல்லாயிருக்கும். Okay?
You said we also looking at what does grit mean, resilience, kindness to self also means sometimes being tough with yourself, saying no, having boundaries for yourself and for the others. We are exploring the concept of grit, resilience and having the confidence to reach into the best version of yourself and looking at through the lens of sport. So we have Paralympians in there, we have somebody who at the age of 65 plus, even yesterday she got a gold medal for pole vaulting and for high jump. That's Mrs. Rukmani Devi Kalure, can you imagine? Quashing all notions, like you said, all these notions of what the other person should be like based on, their demographic. So we have someone like that. We have Nitya Shanti who will be talking about kindness in relationships. There is the closer we are to someone, the less kind we become, and we don't even realize it.
We take them for granted.
We take them for granted, yeah. So we're tackling that head on as well. And it's not just about talking about it and giving you gyan. We have workshops actually. These workshops, they give you actionable tools, break it down to step-by-step tools that you can actually apply in your situation. We have a workshop for senior citizens on safety for senior citizens. How do you fall safely? Falling is like the number one reason why seniors land up in hospital. And if they could just be taught that what are the safety precautions you can take in your home. We have Apollo Hospital that's collaborating with us to do that workshop. We have Higginbotham's that's collaborating to put up a kindness book nook. This is a really nice book stall where we will help them curate books in this realm. But again, it's under the science, politics, ethics, all of these things that we talk about. It's under that realm and books that have been specially curated. We have a lovely pet adoption drive in collaboration with Blue Cross. And, there will be 30 puppies and I think 10 cats will be up for adoption. So please, that would be something kind that you could walk home with. We have an open mic for anybody of any age group to come and express your truth. You don't have to, it's not a talent show, so you're not singing someone else's song or reciting someone else's poetry. Something that's true, your raw truth, you can recite it, you can sing it, or you can just talk about anything you feel passionate about. So we have an open mic as well. So as you can see, we have a lot of serious, heavy conversations, but we're also making it fun and festive. There's gaming and all kinds of different things happening over there. Andrea, what would you like to hear about if there's anything at the festival?
I think the things that they both spoke about are very relevant and they go with what I was talking about earlier, which is intentional acts of kindness, where there's an intent behind the kindness to with keeping in mind certain practicalities, where you're really trying to make a difference, and not just feel good about yourself by doing something nice for someone.
That's true. Yeah.
And I think going forward, that's going to be the more relevant way of being kind. That's the kindness the world needs today.
Called Nityashakti. So at the festival, we're not touching on religion and politics. Even though we look at it from different lens, the conversation around religion and politics doesn't happen. So he's a spiritual leader, and he's going to use mind. He talks about kind mindfulness. So that's a term he's coined, kindfulness, which includes mindfulness in there. And in his workshop, he is going to take you through a series of small meditations and interactions, mindful interactions with one another, which help you connect with your truth. Because we firmly believe that every single human being is good, is born good and has goodness inside them. So if we can have that faith and that belief in everyone, then how do we tap into it? How do we tap into it ourselves? Right? So he is going to be approaching that, and we will have a little bit of meditation built into that as well.
30 odd years now. So luckily for me, I had a very good education and a family that thought well beyond the times in India. So I made it. It wasn't easy, but today, when people assume that because I'm over 60, I need help, for everything. And I'm a politician also. Now that is one of the most patriarchal fields you can find anywhere in the world. Everybody assumes that I need advice, which I really don't want, and quite frankly, I don't need. But everybody needs something or the other. So wouldn't it be more kind to give them what they think they need? We're always judging each other. That, forgive me for, mentioning you, Andrea, that she's young, she's glamorous, so perhaps she needs protection more than everybody else. Possibly she may turn around and say, look, there are things I can manage on my own, let me do it. But we don't let them do it. Especially when it comes to women. I'm sorry to make this also about gender, but women are never really, we're told we're very strong at the home, we are the basis of the entire household, much of this is true, but we're not really given the respect for it. Now, respect is a very, very important part of kindness. You can't be kind without respecting the other person. And this is something that most people don't understand. When I go to meet my banker, when I go to meet my auditor, when I go to meet many people, I'm given so much advice that, I think that, look, I can read and write. I've read up. I've actually researched into what I want to come and talk about or give a talk about. So please don't presume that I don't have the capacity to be able to say something very strongly, manage on my own, have an opinion of my own, etc. I was telling Mahima that, what we call charity is not actually always kind. In many ways, it's looking down on the person whom you're giving something to or doing something for. As one grows older, you become more practical. You realize that there are things that you have to do, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. There are things that you have to do in a particular way, and you don't like being judged. For example, when one talks about an older person, let's not keep calling my generation seniors all the time. We can be quite junior when we want, but why people don't think that if I want to do something for somebody, can I ask them what is it they would like me to do for them? It's as simple as that. For example, Mahima and I, we are passionately fond of dogs and animals and stuff, okay? Constantly people are telling, I'm sure, I don't know about her so much, but me all the time, that you should have a policy for this. So I said, look, policies don't make people do what you want them to do more often than not. And having been in politics long enough, I know that. So instead, why don't we sit with people who do a particular...
I think business is often perceived as fairly cutthroat and ruthless and sort of survival of the fittest in the business sense. And I think it's a very one-dimensional view of business. All the business people that I know in India and certainly in Ireland demonstrate kindness all the time. And I think there is this preconceived idea of business being Wall Street, Gordon Gekko, hustle, and I think it's a bit more multidimensional than that. I think you can definitely do good while doing well and being profitable. This idea that nice guys come last is really slightly anachronistic. It's a 1990s idea. And as I say, I see people in business demonstrating considerable kindness. And in some ways that's been kind of institutionalized now. We hear this term ESG, which I think is good. It's forcing companies to think about the environment, to think about social, to think about governance, and it's less of an optional haphazard thing. ESG is pretty systematic now, and any business worth its salt has got an ESG policy where they're really thinking about it. Some people think it's a bit of a nuisance, it's more regulation, it's more things you have to think about, but it's good though, right? It's good that we have to think about our environmental footprint. It's good that we have to think about our social impact. It's good that we think about proper governance in our lives. So, and business is such a driver of economies, of communities. We've got to get kindness into business. It's absolutely crucial. And it's not a weakness. It's not nice guys come last. It doesn't need to be. Some really successful businesses have got a huge sort of spine of kindness. I can think of loads of them. There's Tom's Shoes in America, a pair of shoes for every shoes they sell. There's Timpson's in England where they specialize in hiring ex-convicts. So all of the Timpsons, they do key cutting and they do luggage repair. In the UK, that gentleman, most of his employees are ex-convicts. And so there's multiple examples of businesses that do well while doing good, and business, as I say, is so dominant in our lives that getting more kindness in there is essential. So yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this.
So